What's good, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Smoking and Grilling with me, AB. This is the Chicken Tetrazzini, right? It's almost like a spaghetti bake. We're gonna be using that chicken, but we're gonna brown that chicken. We're gonna put some flavor on there. And I want you guys to come on in here and take a look at this right here. This is what I'm talking about by making it simple, right? So look, we got chicken thighs. Look, I'm gonna be using some frozen peas. We got flour, bell pepper, Parmesan, onion, white cheddar. This is how I cut down on some of the time. You guys, if you already growing your own mushrooms, you can use those too. But listen, for me, I like to go ahead and go with the slice. Just cuts down a little bit of time. You know what, I'm gonna use about half of these, and then you got the other half in the refrigerator for your next dishes, right? Look, you gotta have your pasta. We got celery. Hey, and I got a question for you. I'm gonna take the celery, the bell pepper, and this right here. And I'm gonna ask you guys, is this still considered the Holy Trinity with a red one? You guys let me know down in the comment section below, right? So look, we got whole milk, salt, chicken stock, we got white wine vinegar, pepper, and then listen, this is really like an Italian type of dish right here, so check this out. I got branch and vines, look, infused, garlic infused, extra virgin olive oil. This right here, when you say anything Italian, you wanna, you know, off the back you think of garlic, right? But just notice I don't even have no garlic here, but this right here gonna put that flavor because we're gonna use this right here to do my browning. We'll just start taking some of this off. Let me go ahead and get everything cleaned up. And you know what, I think I'll take this time to just say, for the full ingredient list, don't forget, everything will be down in the description box below, right? As always. Look, I just did a little trim. It's up to you guys how much you wanna, you know, take out. Don't forget, you get a little flavor in this fat right here in the skin also, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm looking at it. I'm just gonna cut this down. And what I wanna do is, I just wanna get some, I guess like 1 inch, you know, cubes, that's it, that's good. They don't have to be all pretty and all of that. You cut them down like how you want to do them, but look, we just gonna brown these. But this right here is good. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and use breast meat, you can do that too. You know, for me, anytime I can, I like to use, you know, the chicken thigh. Okay, so look, you can see I got everything cut down. Now I said 1 inch. I'm not, you know, don't hold me to the letter of the law by making it 1 inch, right? I just got them cut down, as you can see. Let me go ahead and just put some heat underneath here. I'm gonna start off with a medium-high heat. And then we're gonna go ahead and go with this infused olive oil. This right here, I'm using garlic. I was torn between using garlic or the branch and vine. You know, I could have used the rosemary too. But the garlic is kind of like my go-to, you know, for just like my everyday cooking. So we just put a couple of teaspoons in here. That's more like, whoa, we're gonna say more like a couple of tablespoons. How's that? So once this, you know, builds up a little heat, all we're gonna do is put that in there and then we're gonna brown it. You guys gonna wanna get yourself a bowl, you know what I mean? Because as it's brown, we wanna take it out and just set it in there just like that. And speaking of that, I'm gonna show you a little trick. Everybody knows this, right? So when you cook something, right? Just go ahead and get you, you know, like a paper towel. Just line it like this, you know what I mean? So it can just pick up any of the drippings. Now that my oil is up to temp, we'll just go ahead and just start adding these. Now I'm gonna cook these in batches. You know what I mean? That way I don't overcrowd it and I can get them brown just right. I'm gonna go ahead and give this just a couple of generous pinches. Don't worry about anything sticking on the bottom. If it do, look, we're gonna get all of that up too. Now, one of the key things is not to just keep messing with these, right? We just wanna go ahead and let them cook in the brown. Okay, so look, what you wanna do is you wanna multitask, right? That's what we do when we're in the kitchen. So look, as you can see, that's browning just right. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just cut down my celery, right? And that's up to you how big you want it to be. I like to at least cut it down here. You know, cutting these just like this. I hope you guys can see this. Look at that right there. This is right. You can see the brownness. All of that is perfect. That right there is flavor, folks. I went ahead and split this open. You know what I mean? I'm getting ready to cut that down, but remember we talked about multitasking, right? So now I'm gonna add myself a little bit more of this garlic infused branch and vine oil in here. Let that kind of like heat up. I know some of you guys say you don't eat mushrooms. Listen, when they done right, you season them with all of this fine that's on the bottom of this, you know, this Dutch oven right here. And when I get through with these, making these just right, I promise you, for all you non-mushroom lovers, hey, I'm finna turn you on to something good. So now we're gonna go ahead and just put in, you know, a couple of handfuls. I mean, that's good. I just want to get everything coated and I want to cook this down a little bit, right? So we just want to brown these, but let me get them all flipped over. I'm gonna add just a little bit more of my infused olive oil, right? There we go. There we go. Look at that right there. Now, I'm finna come with the salt, right? There we go. Now, it might seem like it's a lot of salt, but these mushrooms, they take it, you know what I mean? You see I just put a couple of pinches in there. That's it. And then for me, whenever I use salt, you know what? I gotta have a chaser, and that's always my fresh black, cracked pepper. And then we'll go ahead and cut this down right here and get these going. Okay, so when I did the mushrooms, I do everything like in increments, right? So I did some there, now I'm gonna do some. And you just saw me stick some butter in here with this one also. Now, some of your oil will have already cooked away and absorbed inside of your previous batch of mushrooms. So we're just gonna add a little bit more, just a little bit. Get everything coated and just repeat the process. And you know what? I really want my non-mushroom lovers to give this a chance. And I wanna show you this too. You can look down here and see some of the fine. It's just starting to come up. All of this is flavor, folks. Okay, so look, all my mushrooms are out. All of the goodness is in the bowl. Now, look, with the heat, you wanna start off with just like a lower heat, right? Go ahead and add some butter to it. Okay, so you can see butter is all the way dissolved, right? Got a nice heat on it, right? So now what we wanna do is we wanna start with our onions first. Right, I always give my onions a head start, folks. Okay, now that we gave these onions a little bit of a head start, now let's just go with our bell pepper. And then we'll go immediately with our celery. So now we're just gonna go ahead and saute these down just a little bit. We don't want them to get completely soft. We're just gonna take them down. Now really that's up to you. But for me, I'm gonna make it the way I like it. You know what I mean? So we'll let this cook maybe about 3 minutes. Then we go from there. Okay, so if you guys look down here, this is what I want to see. And I like how I feel it, still have a little texture to it. As I need it, I put flour, the wine, the stock, and the milk last. So I put it in order. Makes it so much easier when I'm cooking, you guys. So we'll just take a little bit, remember, a little bit at a time, right? Now, if you've been following me for a minute, you know what I'm making. You guys tell me down in the comment section below, what am I making? What we want to do is cook some of that flour out, right? Everything to get nice and pasty, but it should be starting to thicken up on you. All of your butter with a little bit of infused olive oil, all of that, and the juices from all your veggies, it should have absorbed all of the flour, right? Now we go ahead and add our wine into it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cook this for about 2 or 3 minutes. For those of you guys that don't drink, you know what I mean? No worries, because check it out. All of this gets cooked off. Look how quickly the wine just cooks off, right? You can smell it when you first put it in there, but now look at that right there. Now it's really gotten pasty. Look. Now we come with our stock, right? Remember, folks, a little bit at a time, right? Now I want you guys to look at this and tell me, what does this remind you of? Let me know down in the comment section below. Okay, so look, the answer to the question is, this almost looked like if I was making a chicken pot pie or something like that, huh? Don't this look like the filling? So what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna start mixing in my chicken, right? So there's no other way to do this but just to pour it in. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put in some of my cheddar. I'm only gonna put in about half of it in the very beginning. A lot of times when I'm cooking, I try to overdo it. I make it too lumpy, put too much in there, and then I come up with a hot mess. You know what I mean? So that right there is about enough. I didn't use a paper towel in here because I knew these was gonna bleed a lot of, juice with it, right? But that right there is what we wanna have. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pour that in there just like that. That's up to you guys. If you guys wanna do your chicken like that, you can also. But this right here, look, this is a whole lot of flavor. Once you get this mixed together, you see it. Ain't no need me over talking it. I don't have to sell it. If this don't do it for you, I don't know what will, folks. And then check it out. We gotta put all of the parm in there. So I'm just gonna sprinkle in a little bit like this. Remember, everything in increments. Look, now that this is ready, right? Now would be a good time for you guys to cook your spaghetti, al dente. Just cook it like how the package says. For me, I'm using spaghetti on this time. Why? Because they did not have no angel hair. You know what? It's been so long since I had regular spaghetti. I always cook everything with with angel hair pasta. My pasta's ready, right? I just hit it in the colander. Now I'm going with my frozen peas. We just go ahead and drop this in here like this, right? We let the heat, right? That'll go ahead and soften them up. and just, you know, get everything nice and warm. But look at that right there. Remember, I asked you guys, what do you guys think? Can you imagine this inside of a pot pie? You talking about a chicken pot pie? Look, think about that crust. Oh, the whole thing is just right. Let me go ahead and bring this into the game. Look, our pasta. When I put my pasta in there, usually I'd go ahead and break it. You know, but this time I didn't, because we're using a 13 by 9. So we'll just let it go like that. You just want to keep mixing it, get everything coated, and then check it out. Remember, we saved a little bit of that cheese, right? Because guess what? We're gonna top it on there and then we're gonna put it in the oven. We're gonna form a little crust on the top. Get yourself some non-stick spray. Go ahead and spray your 13 by 9. So, take this and we just pour it all in here just like that. Okay, so remember we had a little bit of that cheddar, right? So now we just gonna take this and we just gonna run this over the top, right? We want this to form a little crust and to get nice and cheesy. Hey, look, we're doing nothing but building flavor. For all my cheese lovers, you tell me what you think. There's something a little bit different from that same old, you know, that spaghetti bake. Even though I got some of them too, but this right here, if you ask me, if you're looking for a change, and listen, this might just be a front runner. The oven should already be ready at 350 degrees. We're gonna put that in there for about 20 minutes. Yeah, I said 20 minutes, but it's gonna actually be in there for 40 minutes. Now I want you guys to take a look at that right there. If that's not no work of art, I don't know what is. There it is. I got my bowl. Ain't no need talking about it, folks. So look, I'm gonna go ahead and go in. I'm gonna use my square edge, right? Just to like cut this down. Look at that piece of chicken right there. That's hollering my name, folks. Man, I got a piece of chicken. I'm looking for some of that mushroom. Look at that right there. Ooh-wee. Now you guys can see the steam coming off of it. It's hot. My mouth is watering. It's getting hard for me to even, you know, form words, right? But you see that right there? Yeah. Cheers, folks. Hey, now listen, this is fire the way it is. I'm not gonna lie to you, you know what I always do? I like to put a tablespoon of that Creole kick in there just to wake it up just a little bit, right? You know what? That just gives it that little bit of bite. But listen, I was trying to keep it true, you know, especially for the sake of doing a video. This, you can't go wrong. Either way you go, both of them will be fire, but you guys let me know what your level up would be. What would you add to this to make it just over the top? But I will suggest this, if you ain't never had it, you gotta make it. And listen, casserole dishes are great for the family. Hey, even for those that like to take something, you know, some leftovers to work, this right here do it. Now, with that being said, hey, if you're new to my channel, let me just take this time to say, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, smash that subscribe button, and tell everybody out there, listen, it's a channel out here that's simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. And with that being said, folks, I gotta finish this bowl up and I'm out.